A friend once assumed that we would stop doing a specific frugal habit once we could afford not to.
But she was completely wrong. So we've been living frugally for quite a long time, and there's certain habits that we developed that we're not willing to give up.
We narrowed the list down to our top 10. Now, as we go through the list, we want to know from you one frugal habit that you are never, ever going to give up. And when we get to the habit that our friend asked us about, we'll tell you that we got to that point. Let's start with number 10.
Number 10 is waiting to make purchases. This is where we don't just see something for sale and just go out and act on it by purchasing it. We take some time. We look at the item, we look at our need, we research it, and we decide, is that item really going to meet our need? Will it do what we want it to do? And as we continue to research, we might find something else that will actually do it. So the waiting pays off because we end up getting exactly what we really need.
Because you always have to remember, just because you have the money to buy something doesn't mean that you should.
Waiting to buy becomes much easier once you have a destination for your money.
Which brings us to number 9, setting specific financial goals. Look, financial goals, you're thinking about it too broadly. Think about financial goals far more narrowly. We have quarterly goals, monthly goals, and even weekly goals. And the reason we have the goals is because we make sure that every dollar that we bring in has a destination as soon as it comes in the door.
And this way we make sure that the money that we have is going intentionally for the things that we want it to, and not just buying willy-nilly.
And once you have goals, you need to make sure that you have a written plan to utilize those goals, which brings us to number 8 on our list, and it is creating a monthly budget.
It keeps us focused on our priorities, and it also helps us to make sure we're spending the money exactly where we need to. And just because you're debt-free doesn't mean you stop doing the things that got you there. Otherwise, you're not going to stay in that place.
Because one of our biggest financial goals ever meant that we had to be incredibly intentional about our money.
And that brings us to point number 7, and that's saving for major purchases. Well, what is our most major purchase we've ever made? It's probably yours too. And that's saving to purchase your home. That is a very major purchase. When we started saving for our home, we really took a critical look at our budget, and we absolutely cut out every area that we could in order to meet this goal.
That involves taking that large goal and breaking it down into bite-sized pieces. How much do you need to save every year, every month, every week in order to make progress on that goal? Now, if you're in a position where you're looking to cut back, we have a free guide for you, and it's the top 10 ways that we saved money when we were saving for those great big goals. It's free. I'll make sure that there's a link in the video description.
You know, we raised 4 kids, and saving money doesn't mean that we just sat alone in the house and looked at the walls for that entire time. We found free things in the community in order to do, and that's point number 6. You find things that don't cost you any money that you can do with your family that they'll enjoy, that you can repeat, and that will really nicely pass the time together.
Because free doesn't have to mean boring. And speaking of free things, point number 5 is one of our favorite free things, and that is going to the public library. We will never give up our love with our public library.
It's amazing what the library offers. Of course, the obvious thing is it offers thousands of books to read for free, and that is the most important thing that libraries do. But most libraries today provide a lot of different things along with that that'll allow you to go to different meetings, learn different subjects. They'll have different activities that are free for the public to plan. So the library is a great resource that you don't have to spend very much or any money to do.
It's one of the best values available everywhere. And speaking of things that are a good value, that brings us nicely to our 4th point, which is the thing that our friend thought that we would stop doing once we had more money. And it is buying used items. Buying used is a great way to find exactly what you need without paying retail price. Now, admittedly, the disadvantage with buying used is you can't go to a thrift store with a list like you can to a store and say, I want to find this, 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 and this.
And what's fun about this is that it makes the event like a treasure hunt because you never know what you're going to find, and what you do find is really fun when you find the exact item you're looking for.
If you're into gamifying like pretty much everything, which we have always done with our finances and with things we did with our kids, just put the word gamify in the comment section so that we will know that we are not alone.
As much as we like buying secondhand, there are actually 3 habits that have impacted us far more.
Habit number 3 on our list is having get-togethers with friends at our home. There's a stigma in the United States of America that says if you're going to get together with friends, you better be prepared to go out to a restaurant and pay top dollar. That is not true. For decades, we have hosted get-togethers in our home and in our friends' homes. We have done potlucks. We had a theme for the party. Everybody brought something related to the theme. Now when we get together, our group has grown exponentially as all the kids are now grown and having their own kids. Here's the thing about getting together in someone's home rather than at a restaurant. It's more intimate.
Yes.
It can be more simple. It can be a time where it's just joyous and you can talk as loud as you want in your friend's home and nobody's going to tell you. You got to pipe it down. It gives you more time to be able to hear and be heard.
And speaking of gathering around the table, this brings us to our number 2 point, and that's cooking from scratch.
Cooking from scratch doesn't need to be complicated. Look, not all of us are a Julia Child. I certainly am not. But you don't need to overcomplicate meals to somehow make up to your family the fact that you're cooking at home rather than going out to a restaurant. Keep it simple. Give them family favorites on repeat. They will enjoy what you are cooking at home, and it does not have to take you a lot of time.
But the habit that ties all these others together is the most important one. And that is...
Can I do a drum roll?
Go for it.
Okay, go.
Continuing to learn about frugality.
Frugality is not a bucket that has a bottom to it. Frugality is more like a well, a deep artisan well that goes down and over and around the countryside. Look, you're never going to get to a point where you've learned everything there is to learn. And this is the number one thing, if we could tell people about frugality, is never lose that sense of curiosity, that sense of how can I do that and spend a little less money? Oh, what do these other people know? What does the younger generation know that we don't know? What hacks are they using? We are always reading and researching. Some of that reading, some of that research, yes, it winds up in videos that we share with all of you. But you know where else it winds up? In our everyday lives, because we're always looking for ways that we can do what we can do it more efficiently with less frustration and to save more money and to make it fun along the way.
After 38 years, we're still learning. We're still refining what we've been doing and putting new things to use.
And that frugality, that is exactly what helped us to become debt-free. Now, some people hear that word debt-free and go, that's it. That's the destination. That is not the destination. However, having said that, there are a whole lot of things about becoming and being debt-free that were like bonuses that we absolutely were not expecting. If you want to know what those things were, we did a whole video on it. It's right over there.